Hi, I've been waiting for a chance when it's not raining to go for a quick trip around the garden. So I'll start with this front garden. This is my dry, sunny garden. It gets the sun from mid-morning right through till sun goes down, really. So these are my climbing roses. This is leaping salmon, and beside it is my scabiosa, salmon queen, and in amongst these at the bottom are some geraniums, a salvia here which needs cutting back and it'll flower again, and veronica which also needs cutting back, as you'll see. Now this middle rose here is heartthrob, more geraniums, and the ground cover I've used here is bacopa, and there's a few some mondo grass, some more breccia and campanula down there, and up there is my breath of life climbing rose. So that's along that very warm dry wall. This Felicia flowers non-stop all season long and through the winter as well. This geranium here, a rose here which is fragrant cloud, which is looking a bit sad, and Jubilee Celebration, which is not flowering at the moment. So that's there. Got a lovely little crop of floss flower here. The Linearia I've cut off. It was a bit non-eventful, so I won't be doing that again. So here's that garden. So I love this area, but I do have to be careful that it gets plenty of water. So over this side of this little circle of lawn, I've got some ground cover, a hebe down there, my natives here, Coprosma and Pittosporum, and scattered through the garden you'll notice I've got lots of salvia, this pink one. Now this one here, plumbago, it's just started to flower, so that's a good, that flowers right up through the autumn. So this climber here is Bantry Bay, and this one up on the other side is Azubis, which is got a couple of buds up there, but not very much right now. This is my lupins have flowered, well, on and off, really right through from spring right through, and now it's we're in our last month of summer. So, and this is a Viscaria, which I'm loving at the moment, and I'm going to sow a lot more of that. Another salvia which is slightly more mauve coloured than that one down the end, and this is a seedling that popped up, so I'm pretty happy about that. A bit of Nepeta here, some Diasca, pink, and along the other end I've got an apricot one. So this rose here is, ooh, I'll have to write that up, that's escaped me. Here's a red salvia, and some more lupin. Now these are my alliums which are sitting waiting for me to lift those beautiful seeds off. I don't know how successful I'll be. I haven't tried them from seed before. So there's Agastache. So that's the pink salvia from the other side. So that's garden. Down here I've got some, to write that up too. These are grown from seed. Now bulbs are coming up here now, the early bulbs. So Okay, we'll move on over here. It's been a bit battered. It's the last rose on there. Sharifa Esma, this rose. There's my Bantry Bay there. So that's that one. And over here I have my Hamilton Gardens, which is not flowering right now, it's just finished. A wiggler here. Lots of fresh growth on it. Sorry about this roadworks. Some Achillea, the pearl. This Achillea here. Another plumbago. Isn't that beautiful blue? It's gorgeous. Lamb's ear. Oh, here's some of my verbena. Now under here is some underneath the loropetalum, which is in flower again. It's already had flowers in the spring. So here's some more. Under here are some marigolds that I grew from seed. There's two types here, that one there. I'll write the varieties up, and this one. So they look pretty good underneath the loropetalum here, and some more yellow picked up round here with the escallonia, gold brine. This is loropetalum is China pink, and under here I have another salvia. I love salvias. This is a different type. This one gets cut down pretty much by the frost and comes up again in the mid to late spring. So this rose here, there's the poet's wife. There she is. I notice she doesn't droop as much this year as she was in her first year, a couple of years. This is her third season. So some of the earlier blooms were very upright, so I was very pleased about that. And over here, in amongst my New Zealand flax formium, is my Lady of Shalott. Isn't she gorgeous? So this is what I call my apricot garden. There she is. So we've had lots of rain through the summer. We haven't really had a summer yet. So yeah, that's all the colours I've put together there. This is a dianthus called Jolt Cherry, which I also grew from seed. Some more Nepeta here, and this in the back here is a penstemon. Lavender. Okay, so over this side in my front doorway is Princess Anne, and she has for the last month, and amongst all the being battered by rain, she's just put more and more flowers on. Every time a bunch finishes, there's another one to take over. Just gorgeous. I'm loving this new David Austin rose. This is, having roses is new for me in my garden. So as they age, you'll see they turn quite a mauve colour. And beside it here is my rosy cushion rose, which I've had for many years. Grew from a little cutting. Well, bought it as a cutting. So that's the front. And now the roadside garden. This gets afternoon sun from midday. The sun comes round here. There's a small lobelia. There's some calla lilies starting to nod off now. In the back here is an aster, which is a mauve pink colour. I can't see any colour on it yet, but it's not far away. got a little bit of thyme here and a lovely grass here. I don't know what this is called. I was given this piece, so I'm looking forward to that spreading itself around a little bit. So the rose back there is Alison. It's finished now, and phlox in the background. This one I'll have to put the name up because Philendula, I think. I'll put the name on the screen. Okay, so that's there. So now continuing around the front here, I've got some. Oh, this is a little lupin that I grew from seed a couple of years ago, and this is the only one that's managed to survive or reseed or whatever it's done. Some dianthus, a little bit of now what's this called? I might have to put the name of this up too. You can see it's having a bit of a battle here with a juga, fighting for space. I don't know which one's going to win yet. So this rose here is Lady of McGinch. Beautiful big blooms on this. There's another one here. So that's going to look lovely when that aster at the back blooms. So the lupins here still blooming. Verbena. What else? Under here, the little hebe that my grandson shouted for me to buy that. This here is Olivia Rose Austin. There she is. You can see the effects of the dampness we've had on the petals. There's a new little bud here. Hopefully the next few days we'll see some improvement in the way they look, the poor things. Right over here, I think I'll have to shift these because I can't really see them from the front. This is a lavender salvia and a dark pink salvia. Another penstemon in a pot there. Some hollyhocks, which were at their best last season really, though not really at their best this season. Here are some, here's some Orlea that's ready for seed gathering. So I need to get on to that in the next couple of days. Down here I've got some phlox. That's called Daniel. It's a dark pink coloured phlox. Flowers in spring. Some more Nepeta. Catmint. This here is my standard Gertrude Jekyll. This is probably the best she's looked for several weeks. She's managed to sidestep some of the weather. She's a bit more sheltered in here by the house. Here's another penstemon, Cha-Cha Cherry. So that's those. Some dianthus, and this here, Armeria. It's a pink one I was given. I've got a brick coloured one, terracotta I think it's called, and another one I'll show you in a minute. It's around the other side. So this is what's left of my flowering escallonia. She's all done now. Needs a good trim now that she's finished flowering. So some more thyme under here, and Oh, I've forgotten the name of this. So I'll put that on the screen as well. And I need to take some cuttings of this because it's nearing its end. So some more lamb's ear, geranium with a pelargonium up there, pink and blue, nice together. So some petunia seedlings. Here's another phlox, ground cover phlox. My petunias are starting to flower. So this one here, this is one of my favourite roses. Look at that. This is romance. It's a bit windy. It's just getting to the end of this little bunch. I'll hold that still. I love this rose. Not a David Austin. Look at this. Isn't she gorgeous? Beautiful. There's another Hebe. Some right. So this garden here gets late afternoon sun at this end. So here's some more Veronica and more lupins. And over here, starting flowering for the autumn, is Japanese anemone. That's in a pot down there because it's inclined to be a bit of a bully in the garden. As you can see down there, I've got some seedlings of it down there. I'm really behind with my weeding because of the weather we've had. Now here's another penstemon here. It's laying on the ground. Should have staked it really. Poor thing. There we go. Now this little ground cover here is, I think, is a little blue Veronica. Now these here, this is a seed that I grew. Oh, I'm going to have to write it up, but I haven't seen it flower yet. It's been there a while, but I can see buds on it here. And it's a flower I haven't had in the garden before. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that come out. This here is Mini Sticks Pink, it's called, and I grew this from seed 2 or 3 years ago. There's some more of that salvia. I love the foliage on this. It's got little purple ends on it. Here comes my little garden friend here. Hello, hello. Just caught up with the fact that I'm out here talking to someone. Here's my Princess Alexandra of Kent. Looking pretty beautiful there. So she gets at least 6 hours of sunlight with the sun coming round here in the afternoon. And a little bit in the morning before it disappears over the house. So this back garden is really my shade garden because after lunchtime most of it doesn't get any sun again. At this end where I've put these 1, 2, 3 roses, this end gets a bit more sun. Over here is Golden Celebration, which I thought I had lost at the end of last season, but it's at least got some growth on it there, so I think I'll be right. These are my, as you can see, my cinerarias or Dusty Millers have got a bit crazy. I have planted some new seedlings underneath some of them to replace these plants. geraniums there, pelargoniums there, another penstemon. And I noticed earlier that the sedum here, Autumn Joy, is starting to show a little bit of colour. So even though we haven't really had our summer yet, we don't feel as though we have, some of the autumn flowers are beginning to show some colour. I'll just go back here because I missed this bit. So I've used a lot of mondo grass in here. There's bulbs all along here. And another salvia that I didn't show you. This one here, grown from seed as well. Poor old garden. Needs a bit of a few hours spent in it. Some begonias there. Illyrias thope. It's finished flowering now. Right. There's a begonia here. Beautiful begonia. So yes, it's quite hard to keep this poor garden happy, really. So back to here. This rose here is the Endeavour, which was flowering up until a couple of weeks ago. There's some more Orlea seeds waiting to be sorted. Now this here, I think, is a little Veronica, which dies away in the winter. And this winter I thought I'd lost it. But the last few weeks it's bounced back, and I presume shortly it'll flower. Now here's a renewed Dusty Miller, one of the that I'm going to use to replace these others along here. I like them in here because they provide a little bit of lightness in the garden, especially in the winter when nothing else there's not much in the way of flowers. So together with the flaxes, they provide a bit of colour along here, so I do like to use them. And they seem to manage the winters here quite well. Ooh, it's a gladioli that looks very interesting. I don't think I've seen that come out before. That'll be interesting. Right, more phlox at the back there. And I'll have to write that up. Another hickory here. And I always forget this one. I've got looking pretty good there. I think I've got another little video of this that I took a week ago before it has started to brown off quite so much. More lupins and another salvia, and the bees loving it. And they love it over there on the lupins as well. In here, fighting for space. Okay, this down here is my winter colour, Kaluna or heather. So that's a pink one, flowers all winter into the spring. Another, it's a paler pink salvia. So that was a seedling that I've left in. Here's another one of those plants I never remember the name of, but I'll write it up. Now I think I've got a new Dusty Miller here somewhere. Yeah, that one is new, and this one, actually this one's quite small, so it'll probably stay. And you see how it is compared to those big ones down there. Another flax. My lovely lobelia, perennial lobelia, also likes to have a damp spot. It's got lovely dark foliage and it looks gorgeous in that, amongst that flax. I love it. Enjoys a shade garden, and so does the Astrantia. More seeds of Astrantia here. Oh, begonias. Now I think this is a forget-me-not that I sowed seeds of, and it's a different forget-me-not to the, well, I've got plenty of seeds. This one here is the common one, but this one here I think is pink. So see what happens. That might not flower till spring actually. So here's another lupin, and the remains of foxgloves, all a bit battered looking. Another flax, greeny bonnets in the back there. Another Japanese anemone in a pot back there, and it's a white one. So that's that. This garden here definitely doesn't get any sun, so this is where my lily of the valley flowers in the spring. More ajuga, some begonias, lady's mantle, and another begonia. These used to flower quite early, but they just don't get started so early anymore. Okay, so that's about it. Not looking so great after their weather, but anyway, that's the front garden around the front of the house. Might go back down to the dahlias and give you a look at those. A lot to do here, a lot of weeding to do. A big hebe in the corner was a small shrub that was growing too big for my other garden, and my dahlias. Some blackberries in the corner and some sweet peas. Yeah, sweet peas. I usually put my sweet peas in there. And over in this corner is my raspberries, which I'm getting a little feed off every few days. Some blueberries under here, lots of weeds, and some strawberries, which should fruit up again through this month. Now, let's have a look here. Just a quick look through my dahlias. I love this yellow dahlia. I love its form. It's so compact and so many petals. Look at it. And yet it still opens up as it matures so that the bees can get in there. Get the pollen in there. It was a bee. Oh, there's another bee. Oh, they don't like it either. They don't like me interfering with their work. This hebe's almost finished. It's had a good flowering this season. And all my apricot orangey dahlias, which I showed in a short last week. Okay, so that's it. And I'll put up a quick picture, if I can find it, of how this looked 4.5 years ago when I